Coffee, thank you.
Quito, that was foolish and childish. And I don't want to see it happen again.
I thought he was going to strangle me.
It's all right, it's all right. I can assure you he meant you no harm. You can go.
I guess I kind of lost my cool, didn't I?
He's really like a child. But I don't blame you for being upset. I was beginning to get that way myself. Until, I acquired a few house guests.
Is that why you're keeping us here?
No, and I would rather it was otherwise.
You mean you wish we weren't here?
I would rather you were all here under happier circumstances.
The loss of your wife must have been a real blow to you.
My wife is still with me.
Oh, yes, of course, but... Well, it's not quite the same thing.
I have the past to look back on, and the future to look forward to.
When my father was alive, I used to look forward to getting up practically the crack of dawn every morning just to be with him.
You were very fond of your father.
Oh, we were very fond of each other. We used to do so many things together. You know, we used to have a special language all our own. My mother couldn't understand it. It used to make her so furious.
Yes. And that special language you still have, all your own.
Oh, you only think that way because you're over 30. Oh, I talk that way because it's the in thing to do, and if I didn't, well, that would be a real drag.
Then your childhood isn't all as terrible as you've suggested?
Oh, the part of my father was great. But my mother was a witch, and always will be, if you know what I really mean.
Well, may I join this tete-a-tete?
An extra head in a tete-a-tete deserves to get bumped.
My, it's nice to have such pleasant company at this hour.
Those were my sentiments exactly.
May I assume that you'll
Clear the decks for action.
or that witch will make a clean sweep even without her broom.
Say something, Jean-Paul.
After a fashion, yes. You see, I have a secret code of my own, too.
Somebody let me in on the secret?
Then it wouldn't be a secret.
You make it sound so ominous.
Sometimes things happen beyond one's control. Like a man and his conscience, or a woman who has no conscience at all.
Such a lovely morning.
Yes, I think it will be when the sun breaks through the haze.
I used to love to walk in the morning mists.
Only generally you were staggering on your way home.
Have all the cryonics gauges been checked for order? Make sure that they're checked again in 2 hours. Then take the mail to the main island and make sure we have mail to pick up.
He's just like a faithful puppy dog.
He loved my wife, as I do.
I meant no harm, Jean-Paul. You know that.
It just comes out that way, doesn't it? Naturally.
Holly, behave yourself, please.
Well, why don't we both?
If you'll excuse me.
Have you been making a pest of yourself with Mr. Desmond?
He made no move to cut out until you arrived on the scene.
Holly, I'm talking to you. Holly, did you hear me? I'm talking to you. Well?
I'm listening.
You mustn't bother him with your silly talk. The man is grieving, and he needs to confide in adults.
Like you, maybe, eh?
Well, I've known grief.
Ha! Your mascara didn't even get damp at Dad's funeral. The only time you felt grief was when you found you'd lost out on the money.
You have a nasty, mean little mind.
It runs in the female side of my family.
Thinking of Erica. Hmm? Oh, she is charming beyond belief, but also temporarily beyond your grasp. She will live, and she will be with me again. If you do as I say, since I'm forced to live my life in your body, allow it some of the pleasures of the flesh. I feel stilted. What part of my life you control, you will live my way. Why torment us both? Elizabeth Marshall has charm, and you would be blind not to see that she's willing. I might even say, eager. You want me to substitute a woman like Elizabeth Marshall for my beloved Erica? Never. Then may I remind you that Erica's family blood flows in Allison Carr's veins. You disgust me. You disappoint me. So many blossoms to be plucked, and you lie there dreaming while the world goes by. I can't have that.
Mr. Desmond? Mr. Desmond, it's me, Holly. But I saw him go in there.